Hi friends, welcome to our channel DAG Education. So in today's video we are going to do exercise 7.2 of class 6th CBSE. Okay my friends, so let's do the first question. So the first question is in your screen. Write each fraction, arrange them in ascending and descending order using greater sign, less than sign or greater than sign between the fractions. So in this video, we are going to do the first part of this question. So in this case, we have to find the fraction of the shaded region and we have to arrange them in a greater than sign and less than sign and in ascending or descending order. So first of all, we are going to do the first figure, first shape. All the figures have total of 9 squares and some of the squares have been shaded as you can see in the diagram. So in the first figure, we can see that the 6 squares are shaded. So the fraction of shaded squares would be 6 upon 9. That is fraction, that is the shaded number of squares divided by total number of squares, which will equal to be as 2/3. For the second figure, there are 4 squares shaded, as you can see. So this is the diagram for the equation, and these 4 squares have been shaded. So the fraction of the shaded squares would equal to be 4 upon 9, that is the number of squares shaded divided by total number of squares, and this would be the in lowest form. In the third figure here, we have shaded of total of 8 squares. So in that case, we are going to first of all draw the diagram. We have this 8 squares shaded and the fraction of shaded number of squares would equal to be 8 ninths. Now for the last question, last figure, we have total of 3 squares shaded, that is in the first column. So the fraction of shaded squares would be 3 ninths or 1/3. Now we're going to arrange them in ascending and descending order. So for the ascending order, that is from the smallest to biggest. So in this case, what is the smallest fraction? As we can see that for the fractions which have the same denominator, we can compare the numerators. So in first case 6 is the numerator, second 4 is the numerator, third 8 is the numerator, and the last 3 is the numerator, as you can see. So as 3 is the smallest, then 4 will come, then 6 will come, and then 8 will come. Then same way, here first 1/3 will come, that is 3 ninths, which is smaller than 4 ninths, which is smaller than 6 ninths, or if you write, you can write as 2/3 as well, and which is smaller than the 8 ninths. And for the descending order, we have the opposite, that is 8 ninths is greater than 2/3, greater than 4 ninths, greater than 1/3. Okay my friends, so this is the answer of this question. This is the first part and this is the second part. Next part of this question, it is pretty easy. The denominator would be 6 and I know that you can solve this question pretty easily. Now let's move to the next question, question number 2. Question number 2 says, mark 1/4, 2/4, 6/4 and 4/4 on the number line. Put appropriate signs between the fractions given below. So first of all, we are going to draw a number line that is only the positive side, not the negative side. So we are going to draw a ray like this, as you can see in the screen. We are going to use a ruler. In this case, I am going to draw freehand. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3 here. So as we have to mark 1/4, 2/4, 6/4 and 4/4, we are going to divide the distance between any two numbers and into consecutive numbers into 4 equal parts. So in this case, we are going to first of all divide into 0 and 1, the distance between 0 and 1 into 4 equal parts, and then we are going to divide 1 and 2 by 4 equal parts. And for 2 and 3, we are going to not do because the fractions are smaller than 2 only. That's why. Okay, my friends. So first of all, we have 1/4. So in this case, for 1/4, we are going to put one step ahead of 0, and this would be 1/4 fraction. For 2/4, we are going to move two steps front, and this will give me as 1/2 or 2/4. For 6/4, we are going to move 6 steps towards 0, ahead 0, and this will give me as 3/2. or 6 upon 4 you can also write it as, so it's 6 upon 4. And for 4 upon 4 we are going to move 4 steps ahead 0 and we get 1 because 4 upon 4 is 1 only. So we have marked everything on the number line. And now for the parts we have to compare 1/4 box 2/4. In this case less than sign will come because as 2 is greater than 1, then 2 upon 4 would be greater than 1 upon 4. That's why. Because if the denominators are same, we can compare the numerators directly. Now for the second case, we have 1 upon 4 box 6 upon 4. Same thing, 1 upon 4 is less than 6 upon 4 because 6 is greater than 1. That is the numerators. Now for the third part, 2 upon 4 box 4 upon 4. Again, the smallest sign will come because 4 is greater than 2. As all of them have same denominator, that is 4, we can compare the numerators directly. Otherwise, it would be not possible. Now let's move to the third question. So third question says your answer 3. Compare the following fractions and put an appropriate sign, greater than sign, equal than sign or less than sign. So in this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform the first part, second part, third part and the seventh part. Okay my friends, so first of all let's do the first part. So we have 4 upon 5 box 5 upon 5. It is pretty easy, smallest sign will come because 5 is greater than 4, that is we can compare the numerators directly, every denominators are same. For the second part, we have 4 upon 5 box 4 upon 7. Here, this time it will be opposite, that is 4 upon 5 is greater. That is, if numerators are same, that is for example, we have a upon x and a upon y. Just suppose this criteria, here numerators are same. So if numerators are same, so if x is smaller than y, then a upon x will be greater than a upon y. So same logic, 5 is smaller than 7, that's why 4 upon 5 will be greater than 4 upon 7. Now for third part, 3 upon 4, 5 upon 6. Now in this case, if you have two choices, either you can just make the denominator same by LCM method, or you can do the cross multiplication method. I prefer cross multiplication method because it is very easy and fast also. So we're going to multiply from the bottom side. So we get 4 into 5 will give me as 20, 6 into 3 would give me as 18, like this. So as 18 is more than 20, 3/4 would be more than 5/6. Okay my friends, so this is the simple logic here. Remember, start from the bottom to top, not to top from bottom. That would be a little bit wrong. Okay my friends, so start from bottom to top. So this is the correct logic here. This is also called as ECT method. Now we have the last question, that is the seventh part. We have 1 upon 6 box 2 upon 12, like this. So in this case, they will be equal because if I simplify 2 upon 12, I get 1 upon 6 as the fraction here. So 7th would be equal than sign. Rest of the parts, I think you can do it yourself by, you have to just compare the rules by the following rules which I taught to you. Now let's move to the fourth question here. So the fourth question, that is the answer 4. The following fractions represent just 3 different numbers. Separate them into 3 groups of equal fractions by changing each one into simplest form. So for the first part, we have 12 upon 60. If I divide by 12, I get 1 upon 5. Very easy. Now for the second part, we have 4 upon 25. This is in simplest form already. For the third, we have 3 upon 15. I can cut a factor of 3. I get 1 upon 5 like this. Okay my friends, for the fourth part, we have 12 upon 72. In this case, I can divide by 12 and I get 1/6. For the fifth part, we have 12 upon 75. In this case, I can divide both sides by 3. I get 4 above and 3 down, that is 2. Then we get 425 at the end. For the last question, that is 16 upon 96. I can divide by both sides by 4. I get here 4 only. I get here 22. I get 2 here. And I have 1 carry to 1 and I get 4. 424. And this I can divide both sides by 4 and I get 1/6 here. So now we have to group these fractions into 2 different types of groups. That is already 3 types of groups, 3 different groups such that they both have same value. So the first group would give me as 12 upon 60 and 315. They are in first group because they all equal to 1/5. Second group would be of 425 and 1275 because they all represent the value of 425. And the third group, which we can classify in basis of their values, that would be at the end 12 upon 72 and 16 upon 96, as they all represent the value of 1/6. So now this is the 3 different types of groups, and it is pretty easy question. I hope you understood it. Now let's move to the 5th question. Arrange the following fractions in ascending order. Next question is of descending order, so we're going to do this question here first. So in this video, I'm going to solve for the third part. Okay, friends. So we have for the third part, we have 1/2, 3/4, 2/5, 3/5. So to solve, as we can see, we have different denominators. We cannot compare fractions if they have different denominators. So we're going to first of all find the LCM of all these numbers. So we get 2, 4, 5, 5. Simple way, we are going to divide by 2 first because it is the first prime number. We get 1, 2, 5, 5. We are going to divide by 2 again. I get 1, 1, 5, 5. I am going to divide by 5 now. I get 1, 1, 1, 1. So now the LCM with 2 into 2 into 5, that is 20. Because 2 into 10 is 20, 4 into 5 is 20, 5 into 4 is 20. That's why it is pretty common to see this value. Okay, my friends. So now let's move. So we can write 1 upon 2. If I multiply both a numerator and denominator by 10, I get the value as 10 upon 20. If I multiply 3/4 by 5 upon 5, I get the answer to be as 15 whole upon 20. If I multiply 2/5 by the equivalent fraction, whole fraction 4 upon 4, I get 8 upon 20. And we get, if I multiply 3 upon 5 by 4 upon 4, I get the answer to be as 12 upon 20. So as you can see, now I have made all the fractions with denominator 20 here. So in this case, what I can do here is that I can compare the numerators here. As we know, 8 is more than 10, which is more than 12, which is more than 15. 8, 10, 12, 15 like this. As it is in ascending order, that is in smallest to greatest. So I can write that 8 upon 20 is more than 10 upon 20, which is more than 12 upon 20, is more than 15 whole upon 20. And like this, 8 upon 20 before 8 upon 20 was before 2/5. So don't forget to convert them into original fractions, which is more than 10 upon 20, which was originally 1/2, which is more than 12 upon 20, which is 3/5, and which is smaller than 15 upon 20, that is 3/4. So here we go. So now we have solved and we have compared all the fractions properly. Now let's move to this next question, that is the 6th question here. So answer 6. We have to now compare the fractions in descending order. So in this video, I am going to solve for the first part in this case. Second part is a bit difficult, but as I told you the method in the first part as well, so you have to follow the same method of LCM. So in this video, I am going to solve it a little bit simpler. That is the first part. That is 7 upon 13, 7 upon 5, 7 upon 9, and 7 upon 17. So as you know, if we have a numerator, that is n upon a and n upon b, if a is more than b, then n upon a would be greater than n upon b. So as we are going to first of all compare the denominators in ascending order. That is 5 is more than 9, which is more than 13, which is more than 17. We have 5, then 9, then 13, then 17. Then same way, 7 upon 5 would be greater than 7 upon 9, which will be greater than 7 upon 13, which will be greater than 7 upon 17. By using the same property. Remember, if denominator is smaller, the value of the fraction would be greater. So like this, we are arranged in descending order, that is from biggest to smallest. Okay friends, so now let's solve for the next part, next question, that is this 7th question here. Okay my friends, so here we go. And one more thing, you can say that the 7/5 is greater because then 5 is an improper fraction and others are proper fraction. That's why you can also say in this way also. So now we are going to solve for the 7th question. So we answer number 7. Raju writes 50 pages of a notebook containing 150 pages. Kanu writes 3/5 of the notebook containing 150 pages. Who writes more? Simple, we have to compare the fractions. So the fraction of Raju would be 50 whole upon 150. That is the fraction of written pages divided by total number of pages he has to write. That is the total number of notebook pages. So it will give me as 1/3. And for the fraction of Kanu here, it is already 3/5. So now we are going to compare 1/3 with 3/5. If I multiply 3 3s that becomes 9 and we get 5 into 1 becomes 5. So as 5 is more than 9, then obviously 3/5 would be greater than 1/3. Remember, for cross multiplication method, you have to start from the down to above. That is the down to up, not up to down. This is a mistake, down to up. So like this, as we know 5 is more than 9, then 1/3 would be smaller than 3/5 or 3/5 would be smaller, greater than the 1/3. Like this. And therefore, Kanu has written more. So Kanu is the answer here. Question number 8. And we are going to solve for answer 8 here. In a group A of 50 pages, 20 read Hindustan Times newspaper, and in a group B, 30 out of 70 read Times of India newspaper. Which newspaper is read more? Simple it is. Hindustan Times has been read by 20 out of 50. And Times of India has been written as 30 whole upon 70. So yeah, this is sometimes it is pretty logical that if 30 people has been read more and 20 has been read more, so of course Times of India has been read more, right? But actually here one newspaper is read more, it is asking in the percentage or in fraction it is asking, not the numbers. Otherwise they would have not given the total numbers. So we're going to convert them into fractions. We will get 2/5 for the numerator and 3/7 of the denominator, and like this we're going to compare them. So we get 3/7 and 2/5 here. We are going to do by the cross multiplication method. We are going to multiply 7 into 2, which equals to be 14, and we get 5 into 3, which equals to be 15. And as we know that 15 would be greater than 14, and therefore 3/7 would be greater than 2/5. Simply, and therefore Times of India, that is the Times of India, has been read more or by more percentage of people, or more fraction of people has read it. And like this, simply you can just solve the questions directly. Okay my friends, so now for the 9th question. These questions are very easy because you have to just understand the concept here. We have question number 9. Sohan worked for 4/4 of a day while Mohan worked 5/4 of a day. Who worked for a lesser time? It is very easy. See, 4/8 will equal to be just as half, and for 5/4 we cannot simplify it. But if you notice, 5 is greater than 4. That is, it's an improper fraction, which means that it has the value greater than 1. Whereas 1/2 is less than 1 because it's the proper fraction. Therefore, by logic also, 5/4 is greater than 4/8 or 1/2. By cross multiplication method or by logic also, you can say 5/4 is greater than 4/8. Therefore, Sohan has worked for, so we have Sohan, S-O-H-N, Sohan worked for lesser time. Now let's move for the question number 10. Okay friends, so we have answer 10 here. Find the answer of the following, write and indicate how you solve them. So you do not write anything, you can just write a method or a simply basic concept, but what you're going to solve in the paper will be this answer, that how do you solve them. So now for the first question, let's do the first question. The rest of the parts you can do it yourself. Is 6/7 equal to 5/6? Of course they are not. If you multiply cross multiplication, 7 5s is 35, 6 is 36. As 36 does not equal to be 35, simply 6/7 would not be equal to be 5/6. Pretty logical. For second part and for third part, you are going to solve it yourself because they are pretty easy parts. Thank you for watching this video. If you like our channel, so please subscribe our channel and we pray for your family to be safe and secure during this coronavirus pandemic. Thank you.